Nation of Fit and 10, welcome to day 41, and you can go ahead and book your third scan, www.calendly.com/trainonmain. Go there, I put the link up in Calendly. Go to the link and book your next scan. It's not happening this week, of course, it's happening next week, November 18th and 19th. That's a Friday and a Saturday. So book your scan. There are no photos in this one. These photos don't happen until the end. It's just a quick scan and meeting with yours truly here. Today I got another great question. You'll probably want to hear the answer to this, and it goes as follows. What is more important for fat loss? Weight training or cardio? I would imagine cardio is going to be more important because it's going to be more heart rate intensive, and so wouldn't this just burn more fat? We're burning more calories. All right, well, first and foremost, that's some decent insight, I would definitely say. Generally speaking, when it comes to weight training versus cardio, yeah, we're probably going to burn more energy on average doing cardio per unit of time. So let's just take an hour weight training versus an hour of cardio work. All right, and listen, we can be very specific about this. Not all weight training is the same. All right, so forgive me for going down a rabbit hole, but let me just explain that. Weight training could be super heavy weight, moderate weight, lightweight. It could be fast-paced, slow-paced, excuse me. I just seem to spit everywhere sometimes. Rarely, though. It can be fast-paced, slow-paced. It can be, very short rest periods. It can be low rep, high rep, etc. I think you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying here. So in general, when we're going to talk about weight training here, I'm going to talk about training more for hypertrophy or muscle growth, which would be on average training in that 8 to 15 rep range. All right, so training that 8 to 15 rep range, and we're reaching near failure, and we're moving at a good pace. Okay, we're getting through 5, 6, maybe 7 exercises in an hour. Cardio, the same thing. Are we talking about high intensity, low intensity? So again, let's just keep this basic. So let me give you some things that maybe you're not aware of when it comes to weight training and fat loss that might be of interest to you. So yes, when we are building more lean body mass, okay, not just muscle mass, but tendons, ligaments. Of course, if we're training heavy, we're really working those tendons and ligaments. Muscle mass, of course, we're causing some remodeling with the bone with heavier weights. So all these areas of what we would consider lean body mass are developing more, and this is going to, as we develop this and we create more of these tissues, this requires more metabolic activity to help to sustain these tissues. So we get an increase in metabolism, right, with the extra lean body mass, and this is an investment that we don't get from cardio. So this is one aspect. But number two, we have increased metabolism from all the stuff that happens after we weight train. All right, so this is going to be a relatively short period, okay, a relatively short window of time. And during this window of time, we have things that happen that allow the body to return or restore itself back to a resting state. All right. So what are some of these things? Well, we've got some level of hormone balancing. We've got replenishment of fuel stores. We've got cellular repair. This includes repairing of the nervous system. And we've just got pure anabolism, the building of the muscle tissue, okay? Now some of this would fall into tissue repair, or cellular repair, excuse me. So we got all this stuff going on, and this is gonna go on across the board, anywhere from, I would say, 36 to probably up to 72 hours, okay? Or maybe a little bit more. Obviously, it's gonna taper down as time goes on. We're gonna see a lot more of this post, what we call excessive post-oxygen consumption within the first 12 or 24 hours after exercise, because all this stuff has to happen to get us back to a resting state. And if we're weight training on a regular basis, well, then this is always happening. Okay, so you're always in a heightened state, a heightened metabolic state. And so this is going to require your body to utilize more, to utilize more calories. Now, something else which was recently discovered, this was discovered maybe the last couple years, or maybe even more recently than that. I'd have to double check, okay? But it's been somewhere in the last couple years, that there are things that have been termed as exerkines, and these are essentially messaging molecules, similar to like hormones. Those are messaging molecules that are basically released by exercise muscles and promote the breakdown of fat. And this only happens with weight training. Okay, so this isn't happening through, doing interval training or whatever. And so why this is happening, I'm not sure. Okay, and I don't think it's known why it's happening, but it's just something that's observed. So again, there are these messaging molecules that the exercise muscles release. Again, this is after intensive weight training that go and specifically break down fatty tissue. Okay, so you're getting some extra essentially burning of fat. Okay, and one other thing I want to mention here, well, I kind of already mentioned this, we are performing a building exercise, right, when weight training. Man, it's 6.5 minutes here. Okay. We are performing a building exercise, right? So again, we're building, as I mentioned, muscle, bone, tendons, ligaments, nervous system, all these things, not just muscle. And all of these things, as I mentioned, go towards a heightened metabolic state. This is more lean body mass, and lean body mass especially requires more care, okay? It's more energy needing over time, okay? Just to maintain itself, but in particular muscle mass. So all of these things are happening with weight training. So we don't want to just look at this as how much energy are we burning per unit of time, but what else is going on afterwards? What are the investment costs with both of these exercises? And of course, there's more than just metabolism. We care about health. We care about cardiovascular health, etc. So it's not just about that. But when it comes to fat loss, because that was a question, this is where weight training, I think, has a lot more of an impact over time than cardio has. Okay. One other thing I want to say here. Well, I'm at 8 minutes. I guess I'll talk about it tomorrow. All right. So. We'll talk about, I've mentioned this in previous videos, or at least I've touched upon it, muscle mass as a storage reserve for extra energy. We'll talk about that tomorrow, I think, because I'm already at 8 minutes. So let's get to the message of the day. And on this day 41, as we head into the sub 30 days left of the challenge, time flies, but you are the pilot. You are in control. And you can decide to, do your cardio or not, or, how stringently you want to follow your food or not. Whatever you're capable of. But remember this, you are in control, and you have the capability to, as I've mentioned in other videos, challenge your limitations, right? Challenge yourself. So try to take advantage, try to do the things you don't think you're capable of, or you don't think are possible, or you don't think are sustainable. Try to break those limitations and move yourself beyond, right? Now, you still have 29 days, okay? Plus some bonus days, depending on when the final scan happens. So a lot can happen. We still have just over half the challenge to go. So a lot can happen here, and a lot will happen, right? Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. See ya.